This is SquallSnake, and I'm back with another Sleeper Hit video. Today, I'm going to be focusing on a handful of Game Boy Color games that might have slipped under your radar. Yeah, we all know Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, and Metal Gear Solid, a game I've covered extensively here on my channel, are awesome, but the following games are also noteworthy and a shame they're not better known. In no particular order, take a look at these. If you've been following my YouTube channel, you might have noticed that I've highlighted Dexter's Laboratory Robot Rampage a few times. Why? Because this game is just a licensed version of Elevator Action, and Elevator Action is pretty awesome. There are multiple playable characters, each with their own abilities, and there's even a secret one to unlock after you beat the game. The graphics are colorful and easy to see, and the gameplay is well paced, getting more difficult with each level. Also, if you ever find this game at a used game shop, it always carries a low price tag. Sometimes licensed games aren't that bad, even if they are clones of other games. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. A card game? Who cares? But Hoyle Card Games is the premier card game on Game Boy Color. This compilation is loaded with options and even has a robust multiplayer mode. Before the time of smartphone apps and even titles like Clubhouse games, bundles like this were rare. There are over a dozen card games, including numerous versions of Solitaire, a bunch of ridiculous avatars to choose from, and each game has a detailed description on how to play. There are even animations, like tanks blasting each other when playing war. The best part though? This soundtrack. The main menu theme is awesome and each game has its own dedicated track, each one better than the last. Even if you don't like cards, it's encouraged to plug in some stereo headphones and just listen. Cannon Fodder has been ported to many systems, but it plays well on Game Boy Color. The most amazing part? Full motion video. That's right, full motion video on Game Boy Color. Check this out. Cannon Fodder is also a fun game. Controlling troops from a top-down view, it's your job to guide them RTS style using a cursor, having them shoot at bad guys along the way. Control is also responsive and the difficulty is tough, but fair. The only downside is if you play on a physical cart in your Game Boy Color hardware or even on an emulator, you're going to hear a constant buzz noise. Cannon Fodder is a large cart size, so I think the Game Boy just needs to suck more power to run this bad boy. Either way, don't let this game go unnoticed. It's fun, and it plays well on Nintendo's Handheld. I've seen Warlocked on a few other lists before, but I think this game still has not received the love that it's due. This is a real-time strategy game on Game Boy Color. In fact, I'm pretty sure this is the only true RTS on Nintendo's Handheld, with resource collecting and troop building and everything, which is unlike Cannon Fodder's tap and shoot action. The multiplayer link mode is also great if you can find another dedicated player. There is no doubt this is an impressive game, and it's a shame that it got overlooked when it first released. It's easy to think Driver, You Are the Wheelman is a top-down GTA knockoff, and it's easy to see the inspiration, but this is a quality driving game. Undercover mode features 15 missions taking place in Miami, New York, and LA. Controlling these muscle cars are responsive and the colors pop off the GBC screen. The minigames, Checkpoint, Getaway, Pursuit, and Survival, are also solid distractions after you completed the campaign. It's a bit of a bummer that a multiplayer mode wasn't included, like competing against a friend's Super Sprint style, but this GBC port of the PS1 original is one of the better driving games for the system. No one ever talks about the GBC ports of Heroes of Might and Magic 1 and Heroes of Might and Magic 2, and it totally breaks my heart. 3DO and No Wonder somehow managed to cram an extensive and well-known PC series into a Game Boy Color cart without making many compromises. Make no mistake, this is Heroes of Might and Magic through and through, just on a smaller screen. The UI might look cluttered or complicated for newcomers, but I can assure you this is an addicting and high-quality game. Outside of Civilization, this is that other one more turn type of game. Both games are amazing and have no business being as good as they are, but Heroes 2 is a more fleshed out experience as it adds campaign mode instead of just having individual scenarios. Either way, please play these games. In my opinion, these are the two most underrated games on the system and my favorite right next to Metal Gear Solid. So good. So there you go, that's 7 Game Boy Color games that might have flown under your radar. What do you think? Did you play these games before? Will you play them now? What other games are sleeper hits on Nintendo's handheld? Let me know in the comments, and until next time, thank you for watching and game on.